love. There's so many things I gotta tell you, but I'm afraid I don't know how. 'Cause there's a possibility you'll look at me differently, love. From the very first moment I spoke your name, from then on I knew that by you being in my life, things were destined to change in love. So many people use your name in vain. Love, those who have faith in you sometimes go astray. Love, for better or worse, I still will choose you first. This is Moon Goddess 777. That song was on my mind. Lexus 247 at the gram. I was just thinking about that song and the meaning, you know, with the love holiday and everything, and how much meaning that song. I always have loved that song by Music Soul Child. You know, a lot of people don't know the meaning of unconditional love. We had the man-made love holiday just passed this weekend, but we're actually supposed to be showing love to each other on a daily basis, every day, every moment, because we never know, you know, we never know, like, you know, energy never dies, but we never know how long we got with each other in the physical, so it's good to make every moment count, even with, you know, not just a husband or an intimate mate, but even our relationships with our soulmates as far as our children and, you know, our friendships, our parents, etc., and the brothers and sisters, blase blah. I know I'm normally not really into the Valentines holiday. I've celebrated it and, you know, go along with the shenanigans or whatever. But I wasn't, you know, but this year I was really feeling the love vibe. I guess it's because of I'm sure it's because of the placements of the planets. I know Venus was really doing this thing, you know, kind of intertwining with the other planets. And my Virgo is in Venus. And that's the planet of love and everything. And it's, you know, Venus has a lot of other attributes also. But I know my Virgo is definitely in Venus. So I think the way that I'm not a very, lately, in the last few years, I'm, you know, sort of flirty, but I'm just never have really been a person to really, you know, flirt or try to compete. I just show you, like, hey, you know, like, I'm the one, and, you know, the little things I do, most of the times people don't realize it until I'm gone, and then they really be like, oh, wow. It's the little things that matter, you know. I mean, I've done big things, you know. You know, I have a lot of Aries. I'm finding out from studying my MCs, I have a lot of Aries in my chart also. So, you know, I'm finding out that, you know, I do things sometimes, you know, when I'm in lower ego, bigger than life, or, you know, you call it, they say my motto used to be go big or go home. But today is Wednesday. We're working with that Mercury energy. That's the Gemini, and that's that currency, money. But money means the moon, which is feminine. So currency is actually, you know, it's flow. It's the flow of like the ocean, the water, the movement. So we want to be trying to meditate on this good abundance and wealth flowing towards us. And it's even a way you can place your money in your pocketbook where the presidents are facing you, and, you know, your cars are lined up and they're actually facing you to bring in the flow or whatever. It's one of my high priestess sisters, she been ordained, that I listened to, you know, she was explaining that, and it makes a lot of sense of how when you buy a bag, make sure you like it, and, you know, and it's not nothing when you see it. You don't just be like, oh, well, if it's a bag where you're like, oh, I'm not feeling that. Don't get it. Get the one that really jumps out and catches your attention, because it's all in the flow and energy of things. I know this weekend, like I said, I was feeling a little bit of the love energy. So I got a call from one of my crushes, and I was kind of surprised, because I know they have a lot on their plate. So I would have thought they would have really been, really. I know it's not a lot for it, but some people, they just don't do a lot of call. They have so much to do and so many to call or whatever. But I was happy to hear their voice or whatever, because I was like, okay. So I'm really I'm on their mind, and they were like, so are you close? Or I'm like, unfortunately, I'm not. But if it's meant to happen, it will happen in due time. And honestly, I do want it to happen. I just want to be prepared, because, now you got to be careful about with the energies and the shifts we're going through. You got to be careful about the connections. And although I feel it's a good connection, I also want to be in the right place, to be ready for what the universe has to offer me. I want to be prepared for everything that it has out there for me. And I want to be in a positive mindset. I want to be healed from the traumas, which I am. I'm speaking it into existence. I'm healed from the childhood traumas, the adult traumas, the DNA traumas, the ancestral traumas. Want to make good connections and, attracting my tribe, unconditional love, attracting my twin flame energy, my soulmate energy, having the right mindsets, letting go of things that don't serve me, old systems, even people, letting go of people that, no longer serve me, whether it be family members. And it's sad, but it's life. Sometimes just because we're blood with people, that doesn't mean that we have to, be around them if they're energy vampires, or we can't be who we've been called to be, or, they don't accept you. Because even if you're ascending or you're transforming into a higher realm, you're not going to just completely change. You're going to have some of the same attributes. You're just going to be able to control your demons or whatever. So if they don't like you to the core, then they're not going to like you at all. They're not going to like you just because you're ascending, because you're going to be more of a person that's probably even boldly speak. You're confident. You know what you're talking about now. So, it's if they had a problem with you then, they definitely going to have a problem with you now if they're not working on themselves or working on, their egos or whatever, and everything. And it's all love. And how has everybody been making it through this Mercury retrograde? It's about to end, but it's still in retrograde. Mercury is still in retrograde. I've been feeling that too. Those are the energies of the past coming back, like past relationships or past issues or whatever, coming back to test you and to, see have you grown and able to you leveled up, trying to test you out. Your retrograde's trying to see if you still, in the same place. So what was he talking about? Just unconditional love. And what I was thinking about and really was on my mind about accountability, and how, as all my life, basically, I've had people trying to put me in groups of religion, or trying to tell me I can't be who I want to be, or I got to be on this with this group or this clique or whatever. And I've kind of always been a person, to kind of stand, I'm a free spirit. I know how to commit or whatever, but I don't really like titles, and I'm very unorthodox. I've always been that way. I don't like titles, and I don't like restraints, and I just like to be able to flourish and grow. And now that I've awakened, now that I'm ascending, I'm wanting to be free to be able to explore the different arenas of spirituality. And, I may want to do this or do that. I don't want to be restrained to put in a box. Or, we got to be careful when we're getting in these different. We got to be led by the spirit, because we don't want to get out of religion and get into religion again even in spirituality, because the spirit changes every second, every millisecond, every, what man can't even fathom, it changes. The spirit may tell you to do something, and it may be something that nobody has heard of, that you done tapped into the spirit, into your Akashic records, and you may have to go out the box and do something that's not accepted if you got to get approved by these groups and different stuff. You know what I'm saying? To each his own. I'm just like, it may change. It may change if I'm led to go to this. I would study with anybody. Like, I'm not afraid to go into the unknown and to go into the hidden. But I would study with different people. But as far as joining and this and that, I'm just really leery about that. I'm just, just taking my time, because I know a lot of things that the spirit gives to me, then it's verified later on. Like, the spirit will give me something, and then sure enough, it's verified. It don't take long, because the spirit knows all things. And if you're led by the spirit gonna lead you into the truth and into the light. And my intuition, by me being a water sign, my intuition is very, very strong. I got my little green on today too for that Mercury energy. But my intuition, I just had to believe in my intuition and to have confidence in it, to know that my heart, it will lead me right. Your heart has a brain also. Don't let nobody fool you. Your heart has a brain. And your heart, a broken heart, a contract spirit, you can die from that. You can die from pain, broken heart, and anger, bitterness, all that kind of stuff. It can take you out of here if you get overwhelmed with it and stress and stuff like that. It's just, it's just time out of you having to let things go and face yourself. Be accountable for your actions. A lot of times we don't want to face ourselves and admit the part we played in any action. We want to blame the other person or get amnesia. We don't remember this or that. I know if I've done something to somebody, about a year ago, I seen a sister twice, and then I seen her in 2017. And I know when we was a child, we had played together, and we lived in the same area. And I was like, I've offended this. I was a little girl. We about the same age group. But I even knew that I offended her. So when I seen her that second time, which was maybe over a year ago, I was like, I apologize for when we were kids and this and that and such we were playing, and I may have offended you or blah, blah. She was like, well, I don't remember that, and I'm not bothered by that. I said, well, I remember it, and if I did something to offend you when we were little girls, then you forgive me, because I don't want anything I've done to affect your, from childhood to affect your adulthood. It wasn't even that. I can say it wasn't that serious, but it could have been something that dictated this lady's self-esteem or whatever. I don't know, but I think like that. I try to keep my heart lightweight. I try to keep that feather light. Because when we get weighed by Mayans, if you don't know what that is, that's those 42. That's the Lady Justice, the 42 attributes. They got the religious books, even the Bible from. When you get weighed with that feather, you want your heart to be as light as a feather. When you get it weighed, I'm telling you, the scales. You better keep it real with yourself. Because I can get up here and I could talk all day and tell you what to do and this and that. But if I don't practice what I preach, I'm going to be held accountable for what I say out of my mouth, and I'm not using it in my own life to benefit myself and, fix me, using it as tools or whatever. I try to, as much as I can, try to practice what I preach. We're going into a time frame when we gotta look into it's in us. They're printing out all of this money because the dollar has crashed. Get a little bit into that. And what is it? Bitcoins and backed by the blockchain and the cryptocurrencies, because there's no value to the dollar anymore. So that's why they print. It's going to make the food and everything go up. They say, I don't know, but they say we heading into another recession, the market crash, housing market crash. It's possible. We got to be prepared. Like I was asking a while back, some of the family members about, kind of coming self-sufficient and, maybe not dependent. I've been like this since I was a child. I hated it when the industrialization, my washer, that's my dryer. When the industrialization, which I was maybe like, I was born in the late 70s, so mid 70s. So I was like late 70s or whatever. So I was like always wanting to farm and grow our own food. So a few years ago, when I first came back to the area, I was trying to get some of the family to maybe do that. But, and I just asked somebody a few months ago, and they were like, excuse me a second. I got to turn this thing back on. They were like, well, do we have to ask? Excuse me, I gotta turn this dryer back on. Do we have to ask somebody, can we do it? And I was like, oh well. And then I had a family member recently to even say the same, and I'm like, wow, are we still doing that? Asking people and the spirit is telling you to do something, but we got to be careful because a lot of times we can't see what's going to happen or what's going to go. We got people in our communities and in our circles and even in our families and our groups that are spiritual. They can see what's going to happen in the future. They can see through the water, like the old people say, they can see through the water. They can see spiritually. We don't listen. We fuss with these people and we debate with them, and a lot of times they're trying to tell you something out of love to guide you to the light so you can be saved. But listen, you can't save everybody. I mean, I'm to the point where, and you gotta understand where I'm coming from. I'm a very family and orientated person. I love family. A lot of things I walked away from because I wanted to save my family and be there for my family. But honey, everybody ain't gonna make it. Some people you can't save everybody. Some people don't even want to be saved. Their purpose here ain't even to be saved. You just gonna have to let them go, And I mean, they may or may not. Death is not a bad thing. Just because somebody died don't mean they not serving their purpose. Because before we come here, we sign soul contracts, and we make a choice, of how we want to, end or whatever. And we make choices to come here, and we choose our parents and all that. We choose this stuff. So, death is not a bad thing. It's a part of life. It's a cycle. Because like YP said, it's like getting in one car and getting out of another. Now, I have had a few close calls and a couple of experiences with, near-death experiences. And I mean, I can truly say the last incidents I had, I was really thinking like, it's so peaceful. I'm about to get out of here like this. Which I'm not saying this to encourage anybody to do something to themselves or whatever. I don't know. Everybody's experience might be different, but I know I was at the point where it was a choice for me at that point. Like I could have chosen to just be like, bye, adios, see you later. And I mean, I was making the choice at first to go on, but then I thought about it. I was like, oh wow, my kids are so young. They might not be ready for this right now. But I'm not going to lie. Had they been older and everything been a little more situated, I might would have made the choice. Because, I was actually looking down at myself, and I'm like, I'm not going. I was actually looking down at myself, and I'm like, I'm not going back in there because this here is it. Like, I was like, I felt this before when I went to sleep. Like, I'm free as a bird. Like, I don't have to be in that. But I'm looking at myself. I'm looking down. Literally looking down at myself like, So all of a sudden, my son busts in the room like, let's get out of here. Let's go. He's like, we going to the mirror. I'm like, okay, whatever. But, and then once I got there, I had to make another choice because they was like, I respect your religious beliefs and everything, but if you don't do this, then, you're going to get out of here. And it took me a little while. I was like, well, maybe I won't do it. But I chose not for myself, but I did it because I know that the people around me was not ready for that. They wasn't ready for me to, pass on and ascend like that. And I wasn't being selfish I didn't want to be selfish. That wasn't my contract or my time to go. When it is my time, I know I will be at peace with it. It's not a big deal. I'm not afraid of it. I've worked in the medical profession over 20 years where I've actually been, been in the room with death or whatever. I've sensed it several times, and I have respect for all the energies or whatever. It's not all bad. It was a very peaceful energy, actually, very, very peaceful. But just talking about, I don't want to get off too many subjects. This is something I'll talk about on another time. But just talking about energies and being accountable. We're going to have to be accountable now or later. If you don't get it right now, you're going to have to keep reincarnating and come. I don't want to come back to this world going to always be here, but I don't want to come back and deal with this level of where it is now. I want to make a difference and make a change. So if I do have to come back, we can be at a higher vibratory rate. I don't want to go through this stuff that I went through in this incarnation. I want to be elevated up to a place where I don't have to be at this low animal state, these low vibrations and stuff. Like I said, the incident with, I apologized to the lady for something that happened during childhood. Even I had a child that when they were little, the child that I know could see right through people and could see whether they were like wicked or good people. Even, as small as a baby, children can see. Children know. We got to keep our spirits like that so we can be able to see. Like if I'm grinning in your face and I'm giving you candy and I'm like, come to my house, I got some money for you, and I'm gonna bless you. That does not mean I'm your friend. I'm telling you, people got to wake up with that right there. It's right. And I don't agree with every book out there, but it's a lot of truth in these books, and I believe they all been tampered with. But honey, it says it right over in Proverbs about how people will give you gifts or whatever. And I'm sure it's in other parts of the Bible too. How people will give you gifts and they're plotting your end at the same time. And that's what we got a lot bit going on for a long time. If you want to get somebody, if you really want to trick somebody, give them some money. Give them some gifts. Give them something they ain't never, dangle something that they never had or they never thought they could get in front of them, and to see if they will fall for it. And then once they fall for it, they'll let you, just because you provided some materialistic item. People are so weak-minded, they will let you in their house with their children. The kids are such a prized possession. They're priceless. That's you all over again. That's your oh my God. I just gotta pause for a second. Honey, I'm not saying I've been rich, but I've had some money in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Where I know, that's in my chart. I know what money do. I know the power of money or whatever, and how weak-minded people are. I've been at the top of my game, but I've always been a person that was pure-hearted majority of the times, where I didn't hurt children and I didn't just hurt people and abuse people. Now, if you did something to me, not no child, but if a grown person did something to me, I feel like I got a right to get my revenge. But honey, I know the power of money. That's why I thank God I always did, and I do, because I wouldn't sell my soul for money. That's been offered to me to destroy, my own people. Honestly, the black man. I'm gonna just keep it real. I've had several hundreds of $1,000s offered to me to, promote material that would cause divides in the community and blase da, and I turned it down because I know at the end of the day, it's not worth my soul. It's not worth my dignity. It's not worth me going against money, and get these gifts and material things are not worth me going against my belief system and my integrity. And I know I'm not, and I know it wouldn't have been the right motives, and it's something I would regret. It's not worth it to me. But it's a lot of people out here that would have been in my position, they would have went for it, and not for less than that. I see people sell out all the time. They sell their children out. They give them to the beasts. Long as they got something that they giving you and they dangling, even with this vaccine, if they try to give y'all children these vaccines and y'all don't need to take that money. I know you looking at me like I'm crazy and you think I'm talking stupid, but listen, it don't take a lot. You don't need all the money in the world. It don't take a lot. You just got to know how to manage your money and get yourself together and figure out, what's going to sustain you, some skills, some trade. It's a lot of trades out here to learn. And they not going away anytime soon. People gonna need people to do these trades, man. I mean, I'll get more into that in the near future, but it's not about going to college anymore. It's about having a trade and a service. The people are making more money than doctors and lawyers and all these big degrees. They making more money than them by having a trade. And just keeping your mind right, managing your money, not getting caught up in that illusion of the celebrity type mindset and the keeping up with the Joneses, living below your means, living not above it but below your means, managing your money, managing your credit and stuff like that, and just being accountable. I'd much rather deal with somebody that comes to me and admits that they did something wrong rather than just pretending like they don't remember it or that it never happened. I mean, if you can be real with me, I can be real with you and I can really forgive you because I know you might be sincerely sorry. We can work on it because people do change. And I mean, they do. Like somebody might do some mess back in the day. They might be a tote because they might truly didn't know any better. They might didn't. It might be some bad stuff, but I mean, they can be rehabilitated. They might be trying to change, or they might have changed, or whatever. Like, people do, but some people, they don't change. They just keep right on doing the same thing, destroying generation after generation, and trying to act like they the angel of light, but they ain't nothing but wicked when you're trying to hurt children. It's wicked. Like, I done been through some stuff. As a child. Well, I've experienced abuse. I've experienced molestation. I've even experienced things such as rape or whatever. Not as a child, but as a teenager. But honey, I wouldn't do that to nobody because I know how that made me feel. I would not want to be a victim and then become a predator. And I know that happens to many people. But I mean, at what point do you decide that you're really working with like some real wicked type stuff when you out here doing stuff like that to children? Like, get you an adult that get a grown up that mug can look like a child, but as long as they're legal. If you're going to live out your fantasy like that. But I don't be out here messing with no kids. I mean, that's our future. Even you got. I've witnessed this, man. I hate it that I don't hate it, but I know I signed a contract to come down here and go, experience these things to make me into the person that I am today and that I am becoming, so that I can do things in the community, do things in society to better our community, to better our society, to bring us together for healing purposes and restoration, and whatever. I've seen grandparents and grandmothers destroy 2 and 3 generations with the knowledge that they putting out into these children. The old mindsets, the spirits. When your children are around certain people, they're even transferring spirits into them. You gotta be like, I know y'all gotta work and stuff like that, but sometimes you got to be careful who you let your priceless possessions around. Because I didn't know. Like, a lot of this stuff, I did not know. I was so naive. I trusted people in my family. I trusted people I was married to. And for a little bit, I did, till the spirit started telling me, like, these people don't like you like that. And if they don't like you, they don't like your children. And when people don't like you, or they don't like your kids, they will try to do stuff to hurt your children. And honey, let me tell you, if you don't do something about it, it can affect them for a lifetime. I mean, I counsel children, I counsel grown-ups right now that's still messed up from stuff that happened to them when they were little children, not by no stranger, not no stranger, then by people that were their family members. They can't have normal relationships, honey. They can't have a normal life from what family members done. And you see these family members, they act like they ain't done a thing. They got amnesia. They not being accountable. They just laughing like it's a joke. It's no joke when you hurt somebody, when you out here destroying lives, and then a lot of them, they still trying to do it. They doing it. They might not be doing it on a bigger scale, but they still sitting out here messing with these kids, screwing up these children. They don't need to be around no children, period, honey. Not 1 minute, second, nothing. Because I tell them right now, you wouldn't. I didn't know. When I knew I took mine, you wouldn't be around my children. Because these people, a lot of people, they might not go out here and do nothing. But if they see somebody do something to your child, they ain't going to say nothing about it. They're going to look the other way if it's somebody that they like or that they favor, honey. It's a lot of them out there like that. They'll tell on that person they don't like, or they'll tell on that's drunk in the street or that crackhead, but let it be one of their favorites. Let it be one of their picks. They're not going to tell you that somebody harmed your child because they don't want to get their best friend or their best sister or brother or their husband or girlfriend or whoever in trouble, okay? Okay, you better be aware. I mean, we need money, but money is not everything because we need to be aware because that's how the enemy come in. He come in sneaky, subtle. You know, he comes in like a stealth bomb. When I say stealth, that means you don't even know what's really happening until it's too late. You know, I just want to put that out there. And I just want to send love out to everyone. Good vibes, unconditional love, and healing. You know, it's never too late to get healed. You know, it's people that's 70, 80, 60 and 70, 80 years old, and they think their life is over, honey. Age ain't nothing but a number. It's all in your mindset. It's time to renew yourself. Let these old ways of thinking go. Reset your mind like you do we ain't nothing but a computer. That's where they got the algorithm to make the computer from watching humans. We got to reset and reboot. We got to let this old stuff go that's not serving us. And we got to vibrate up. We got to change some things. We do. It's not easy, but it's possible. All things are possible through the Christ on the inside. I'm talking about that Christ on the inside of you. You are the Christ that strengthens you. And y'all have a wonderful Wednesday. And you be blessed and highly blessed. I say bliss, or blessed means to spring with blood. You be blessed and highly favored. And I send you out healing, unconditional love, wealth, abundance, and alignment with the universe, the Most High, the Holy Mother, and the Divine, the ancestors and the spirit guides, and the Orishas. Ashe, Ashe. Much love. Moon Goddess 777.